Hi and welcome back to my channel. I am Koala. I am a shamanic practitioner mainly within the Nordic shamanism, but I'm also initiated into Nustakarpa and the Munaiki rites within the Kira medicine. And this is my channel, my little nook in this end of the universe that we call YouTube. So I know I promised you guys to go deep into the 9 realms of the Nordic shamanism, and we're gonna start that next week. Today I'm gonna talk about spirit animals and power animals in the Nordic tradition. So this is my way of viewing it from my Nordic shamanic perspective, and it might not be exactly what other people says or what, and it may not be what you are, how you currently view power animals and spirit animals, because I'm going to talk from my perspective. So I'm going to start with the definitions from my point of view of these two, and then I'm going to go into a bit of intuition in regards to these two. So, power animals for me, or in Swedish we call them kraftdjur, which is the same. Kraft, power, djur, animal. So, power animals for me is this. In the Nordic shamanism we have 9 realms, right? We therefore have 9 power animals. We have 1 power animal from each of the 9 realms, and sometimes we might think we have more than 1 from 1 realm, and there might be like a mismatch, but we also have what we call spirit animals, or andedjur, spirit, ande, animal, djur. So I'm gonna talk about those two today. So power animals for me are these 9 animals that we have, 1 from each realm, and they have properties and medicine that we need to incorporate into our own. They're also aspects of ourselves that we need to work on. So when we meet a new power animal, the first thing to know is that we have them all around us and within us all the time, and then we just meet them in maybe dreams or journeys or meditations when we need to work deeper with them, that we need to really embrace their medicine and bring out that part of ourselves. And then when we have done that, they may take a back seat again. So they continue to walk with us or swim with us or fly with us, wherever they're from. But we need to let them, be in the background, and then there's some time of integration, and then we might be ready for the next one. So during our lifetime we work with these 9 power animals, and it can be that we need to work with we usually do deeper work with 1 at a time, and then one might come back again when we need to be reminded of that medicine that we have inside of us, or that perspective on life that animal brings. So for instance, one of my power animals are the dolphin, and the dolphin is connected to my emotions because a dolphin resides in water, but dolphin also stands for fun, play, bringing out the inner child and the childlike wonder of life, and having fun with communication and with your voice. Dolphins like to communicate a lot and sing a lot. So that's part of the medicine of the dolphin. And when I first encountered the dolphin and learned that this is one of my power animals, I spent some time really immersing myself in the medicine of the dolphin, and then I could feel when I was kind of done with that part of my life, you can say, and when that with that animal. So sometimes they stay for a year, sometimes they stay for longer, and I usually do, like, once a year I do a drawing, like, just to confirm that what is my power animal right now, who do I need to work with, to reinforce my connection with that animal, and to remind myself, okay, my work with this animal haven't been completed yet. So I also have, so when I'm done with one, there might be some time when I don't, interact with a power animal or immerse myself in a power animal for a long time. But I have other animals coming and going in my life, in my dreams, in my work, in my real life, etc. And that brings messages that I should be attentive to and to really acknowledge. So one animal that I call these spirit animals, but it's this, the Nordic definition of spirit animal, and it might not be the same that you have maybe encountered in like Native American or like indigenous practices where you live, because this is my perspective on it. So spirit animals for me are animals that comes with messages. So if I have one power animal from one of the 9 realms, I might have 4, 5, 6 spirit animals from the same realm. And these are animals that comes with messages, with reminders, with they also have their properties and their medicine, but I'm not supposed to integrate that medicine and to dive deep with it. I'm just gonna they're there to remind me of something, or maybe to change my perspective on something, because that's a perspective that they represent. And so when one spirit animal comes into my life frequently, it can either be that I am working with that animal and listening to that animal and really connecting with that animal in a good way, so that I listen to that and they have more and more to help me with, and I work with them, but more as a more kind of like they are a helper, like a spirit helper, rather than they're not a power animal, they're like the spirit helper. So another reason they can be frequent in my life also is if I don't listen. So maybe they are like coming in a dream, and I'm like, oh, there you are, hi, I know what you stand for, thank you. And then I don't really listen to that animal. So then they come back and they come back and they come back and try to remind me to listen. So power animals are supposed to be, their medicine is supposed to be integrated. Spirit animals, those messages and medicine are to be listened to and to be acknowledged. And you need to understand how to incorporate that in our daily life. But it's not always necessary for us to really integrate it into ourselves and to our body, mind, and spirit. Body, mind, soul. So what I do to listen to these animals. So when I meet a new animal, maybe in a dream, or maybe like they are constantly popping up in the work I do. The first thing is, if I feel that they have something to bring me, a message or medicine, I release anything that hinders me from listening to them, to really take that into account. So that might involve me releasing previous notions of what it is, previous messages that was maybe they have come into my life a couple of years ago. And when I see them again, I'm like, oh yeah, you are that medicine. Okay, that's your medicine. I understand. Thank you. But that's not what I need right now. Maybe I need another aspect of their medicine or their properties. So I release anything that hinders me from receiving that. And then I ask them in meditation or in a journey. And when I do that, if I met them in a dream, my meditation most usually, the way I do it is I go into a meditative state and then I bring back the memories of that dream, and I go back into the dream and I ask myself and I ask the animal to show me what I need to know. And that is also a way for me to find out if it's a spirit animal or a power animal. And from there I decide how I'm gonna work with that animal going forward. And sometimes it's an animal that just was there to remind me of something here and now. And when I have changed that perspective that they are reminding me of, then they are gone. One of those animals that are kind of frequent in my life is the otter. That comes and goes, and they always have the message they have is almost always the same, but they come to remind me of a perspective that I have forgotten in the moment. So they are like, hi, I'm here, and I'm like, please tell me, show me what you are here for. And they show me, and I listen, and then I can feel them content just drifting away. So if it's a power animal, I might also do a shamanic journey where I really welcome this animal and its medicine into my body, mind, spirit, and soul, and I welcome integration of this, and I welcome the lessons and the learnings that they come with. So for me, it's really important to use my intuition with all of this, and to listen inwards and to the animal inside of me and outside of me. So I recommend all my students and everyone I work with to do that, to listen more with intuition than listen to other sources outside of yourself, because there are a lot of sources about power animals and spirit animals. There are books, there are cards, like oracle cards, or just knowledge cards. There are websites, there are people like on social media sharing a lot of it, and all of that is really good and fine. But I recommend everyone to view that as knowledge, like a basis of knowledge. So this is like a source of knowledge, like this is the book about this animal and this animal. It contains all of these aspects, right? So that when you feel lost and you don't really know what message is for you, you might read through that or go through that and feel somewhere along the line something kind of pokes at your intuition and makes you feel like, oh, this resonates with me. I can pull on this string and see where it goes. But I won't recommend anyone to trust that source like this is the truth, the end all be all truth about something, because someone else's truth is not the same as our truth, and maybe the dolphin has a message for that person that is similar but not the same as what I need to listen to and really embrace in that moment. So sources are wonderful, but you should use your intuition to really connect with the animal and look at that knowledge as sources as an in, like somewhere to start when you get to know an animal. So I always recommend that you get to know your spirit animals and power animals on your own, or when I guide people to get to know their spirit animals and power animals, I guide through a meditation in the 9 worlds where you meet these, and beforehand you need to release everything that you think you know, so you don't expect the wolf or the tiger or these maybe animals that you really have a strong you feel a strong attraction to these animals, and you think that these are my power animals, because most often it's like 50-50. You can be right, but you haven't worked with them enough yet. You just have them like on your wall of fame, and you're like, these are my animals that these are important to me, but you haven't really worked with them. So I help people understand like how they need to work with these animals. The other thing can be that these are spirit animals. All of them are animals that come with messages, but they are not your power animals. They are not the animals that you have the most to learn from. And it can also be that they have completely different roles in your life than either one. They can be protective spirits, then they can be helpers in other ways, because animals talk to us in so many different ways, especially in the spirit realm. So but also in this realm, where like we might feel a strong connection to a specific animal, and it can be our familiar, but it might not. So that's why I'm making this video, so that you understand, so that maybe you understand and other people understand, and maybe I can inspire someone to view this in another way, and to maybe you know, what's the word in English? sort among them. So like sort among, like, okay, these animals can help me in this way, these can help me in that way. And in another video sometime I will talk about plants in a similar way, because we have power plants and we have spirit, and there are spirit plants, and the plants have spirits just like stones have. So I'm gonna talk about that later on during 2025. But yeah, I wanna just recommend and urge people to use their intuition more. And at some point in 2025, I'm gonna hold a course in English. I'm currently working on the course in Swedish, and as soon as I have, I'm finished with it and know exactly how it looks, I'm gonna start trying to do the same in English, and it's gonna be probably an online course that you can go. So my intuition course is gonna be built upon an intuition workshop I also hold, but mostly in Swedish. So this is how I view working with your intuition, right? There are a lot of people out there, a lot of that have a lot of like intuition exercises, like you see pictures of or videos of people like, what's in this box? What am I holding in my hand? So my view on that is that you need to trust your intuition, and you need to have developed your intuition to a certain extent to be able to really know the answers to those questions. And if you haven't, if your intuition is on this level and the exercise is on this level, and you try and you try and you try and you fail, then it's just gonna break down maybe your trust in your intuition, and your self-esteem, rather than building and developing your intuition. So what I want to do is, what I do in my workshop and what I'm going to do in my course is to show how you can go from here to here, how you can develop your intuition from where you are now and onwards, and how you can work with that. And this is beneficial when you work with runes, with your maybe tarot cards or oracle cards, when you work with your power animals and spirit animals, when you work with plants and plant medicine, when you work with almost anything within the spiritual. So because intuition is such a big part, and it's so important that you trust your intuition, and that you develop your intuition and not just test your intuition. Because if you test your intuition through maybe these kind of exercises and you fail, then that's going to do more harm than good. So I don't really recommend someone that, if you already have a strong intuition and you always or maybe you view it as psychic abilities to know the answers to what people have in their hands, or maybe you can guess or sense what someone is holding, blah blah blah, then my course can still help you to reach newer like heights on that. Because why not develop your intuition more instead of just being content with having it in one place? So what I know now is that the course is gonna have 5 videos. One is an introduction to intuition, where I talk more about what it is, how we work with it, and I talk about what we're gonna do in the course. But it's like theoretical knowledge about it. And then there are 4 videos with working with your intuition and expanding that. And the difference between the workshop and the course is of course gonna be that the workshop is one event, and I am there to help you. It's through video call. And then the course is videos where I describe what you're gonna do, and you get like homework. So you do the same exercises, but you do them on your own and on your own time, and you can do them, you know, several times. With the workshop, I always send the link to the video afterwards, so you can watch the workshop and do the exercises again if you would like. But it's two different ways. Some people don't want to meet, you know, on a video call, and some people prefer that. So I think it's really important to have your intuition as your primary tool when working with anything spiritual, and very much so with divination, no matter if it's tarot cards, runes, or whatever. Because, yeah, I'm not going to go deeper into that because I don't want this video to be any longer, but I hope you have gained some insight into my shamanic perspective on power animals, spirit animals, and I know that this may differ from, I know it does differ from like the Native American view on it and that sort of thing. So, and also other traditions that I have come across. So, and they are not wrong. I am not wrong or right. They are not wrong or right. It's different perspectives, and you need to embrace whatever resonates with you. And this is what I work from. So if you are interested in the Nordic shamanism and the 9 realms, this can be very beneficial to you to have this perspective and know it before we go into the 9 realms that we're gonna start with next week. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I'm gonna see if I can speak clearly now. Okay, thank you everyone for watching. I will see you in my next video, and keep an eye out for Patreon. I'm gonna start a Patreon in the next 3 months. I'm gonna try and learn how to use it and then I'm gonna invite people to join me on Patreon. So have a lovely day. Walk in beauty with all of the animals around you and inside of you, inside and out. So as above, so below, as within, so without, as the soul, so the universe. Shingling.